So let's show a framework version that requires code changes in addition to dependency version bumps. Let's do something pretty extreme like Spring Boot 3 from Spring Boot 2 version. We have a recipe for Spring Boot 3 that is deeply composite. It includes a lot of steps. We can look at it. To migrate to Spring Boot 3, you first have to migrate to Spring Boot 2.7, to 2.6, to 2.5, to 2.4. You'd have to update the tests from JUnit 4 to 5. All of these things, each of these little migrations takes a number of different steps, so this recipe is deeply hierarchical. You have to migrate to Java 17, which means you have to migrate to Java 11 first if you haven't yet. All these steps are kind of going together. And we'll see how this relates to data tables as well. We're going to run this on a set of repositories. And of course it's going to make the code, or it's going to suggest the code changes to you, so you could mass commit it across all of these repositories. But additionally, we'll output data about which little pieces of the recipe made changes, so that you can go back with the data table and look at what were the most common changes, what were the greatest areas of impact in this particular thing. Rather than downloading as Excel, we're going to show how we've integrated Jupyter notebooks in this case to take that Excel data and render it using a visualization that helps us understand. So we're running it here. We're going to produce what's called a Sankey diagram, which shows the constituent parts of this recipe and what were the most common changes that were made. You can see the most common change is to use this new instance of pattern match syntax that's available in Java 17. But we made some changes to ensure tests are not public, changing annotations, upgrading the Java version. So a lot of different kinds of things had to happen. Let's look at another example, which is trying to find the third-party licenses in use. Common question that we get in compliance audits. So we're just going to look at all the licenses that we're using, all the POMs and the third-party dependencies of all the repositories that we're running against. And here again, we can download this as a data table. I'm just trying to show the variety of different questions you can ask of the source code. We've looked at vulnerabilities, we've looked at the recipes that made changes. In this case, we're looking at the licenses that are in use. Maybe let's just filter this one down to GPL and LGPL dependencies that are in use. And what we're going to see in this case is that they all have the GPL with class path exception, so it's fine, but that's the kind of question that we could ask here.